Welcome, I'm Scott. Today we're jumping back into the 70 Chevy C10. And this band right here is the Dockers. Go check them out. They rule. Alright, we're going to jump back into brake lines on this old C10. I tried my hand at bending some lines and installing them, and that's horrible. Dropped the ball, fumbled pretty bad. Actually, terrible. So off camera, picked up some tools, and I bent all these by hand. No, I didn't. I'm lying. Picked up the phone, called these guys, placed an order. They sent all these brake lines here. They're all pre-bent, ready to rock. So I'm excited to throw these things on and hopefully get the braking system on this truck taken care of, and maybe take it around the block. Who knows? But nonetheless, let's dive into this work. All right, you can see where that clip is. A lot of times when you take these little clips here off, they'll be corroded. Pull it apart. 9 times out of 10, your brake line's going to leak, especially being as old as these lines are on this truck. So I'm going to go ahead and get some tools. I'm going to get this clip and that lower clip there off, and then I'll start taking some of these lines loose. But yeah, it's supposed to be pretty nice. All right, so I got both of the clamps removed. I didn't record it just because it's so tight underneath this wheel well. So one went here, the other one went there, and I got them both sitting right here. This is the top one, this is the bottom one, the lower one. Then remove this little small one. That's the one that I made and put in, which was absolutely wrong. So, all right, got that broke free from the T-block. All right, see if I get this line fed up through here. Back one broke free. Okay, now I need to get underneath the truck for this line that runs to the rear brakes. There's a coupler that's over towards the passenger side of the truck that I'll have to break loose so I can get this. It's a pretty long line. Get this one pulled out. I'm not 100% sure. We'll just figure it out as we go. So, give you a visual underneath the truck a little bit. Kind of see the pans and see what's going on down here. There goes the back. There, back up underneath this thing, and get myself in a position. Here's the coupler I was talking about. Of course, the exhaust is right there. So. Doesn't look like it's in the hanger there. It is in this front hanger. Maybe this front hanger. Let's get the big hands out of the way. Tail's going, oh, cobwebs. See that? Get that out of the way. Okay. There's the hanger here. There we go. Got that popped out of the hanger. Maybe I give me a little, give me a little bit of leniency here. Probably should have waited before I put this line on, but that's all right. I'll go ahead and get some wrenches and try to get this thing broke loose from this coupler here and get the new one tied in. Ooh-wee! It's a squeeze, baby. All right, I got that broke free from that nut there. Snake this thing out of here. I'm not 100% sure. Let's see if we can't figure it out Alright, there we go. Cool. Okay, I got the rear line fed up and hooked up to the proportioning valve. It wasn't too bad. I did have to take the top bolt here out of the proportioning valve to kind of finesse it one way or the other to get it to line up with the hole and stuff to get the brake line tied in. So that's the rear. Now I'm going to feed up the line for the front brakes, and we'll see how this all goes together. All right, that's front brake lines hooked up here to the proportioning valve. I did have to take a 3/4 inch, or no, I'm sorry, a 13/16 wrench just to go over the lines and just kind of tweak the ends just a touch, one way or the other, or in and out. And definitely taking that bolt out of the center of the proportioning valve made things a hell of a lot easier as well. So, but they look nice. They're hooked up, and I don't have the bolt back in the proportioning valve just yet, so I'm gonna wait and did the easy part first. Probably should have got underneath there and tied up the Loch Ness Monster first, but oh well. Here we go. Okay, what I need to do now, this T-block here, need to get this line into the top of the T-block. So I loosened it up so I can move it around and do what I need to do to get it tied together. All right, so I got that line off the proportioning valve tied into the T-block. And then I got one more line that comes from the rubber hose that ties into the other side of this T-block, so I'm gonna run it real quick. Then I'll tighten up this line and tighten everything else up. Here's that new line I'm gonna install there, and that rubber hose to the other side of the T. So, all right, I got everything connected back to the T, got everything tightened up, did all that off camera. Got it tied in here to the rubber hose. Other side of the T, then it runs up to the apportioning valve, and this runs across to the other side over there. So I didn't have to change this line. My buddy Jeff Luna had one, and he let me have it, so I threw this one on. So I'll have an extra line. But with the new line that they sent, that thing is super long. So I'm assuming somebody's tied this in here, and because I can see another coupler. I may have to pause the video to get you up there so I can show it to you. There's another coupler up there, so I'm assuming that this new line ties into that coupler up there, but I'm not 100% sure. The bends are pretty funky because that's right in the way of the drain plug, so I may have to do some finessing with this thing. I don't want to get too crazy with it because the last thing I want to do is kink it, because Lord knows if there's anything I can do best, then that's kink a damn brake line or a fuel line or, you know, whatever. So, but all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'll try to figure out what's going on over there, and maybe do a little finagling with this shit. So I'll be back. All right, there's that other coupler I was talking about that runs to the rear. This runs down right here. So follow that up. Ties into that coupler, and then of course my new line is. It almost looks like that's what it's supposed to do. Tie it to the coupler there. So I'm gonna see if I can get that thing broke loose without tearing anything up. But I'll give it a shot and see what happens. All right, I got that rear brake line hooked up. As you can see, wraps around the frame nicely. And see where it ties into, maybe not. There we go, where it ties into that nut there. Turned out really nice, I like it. It's way better than anything that I could have been up. There's that little short line that they had on there that I took off. It's actually a nice line. And it is one from the auto parts store, because you can see a sticker that never comes off the right way. You can even take a grinder to it and it still won't come completely off. I'm gonna save this and put it in the pile. All right, happy. All right, I'm super excited now. Getting those new lines put on. Hopefully Maddox will come over tomorrow and we can get this thing bled out, and maybe we can take this thing down the street or around the block. That'd be pretty fun. I'm excited to do that. I'm real happy with those brake lines. I bought mine through LMC Trucks. I'm assuming they got them from these people here. But they worked out really nice. There's a QR code there or whatever if you want to scan it. But yeah, they worked out really nice, and way better than anything that I could have tried to make work. Run the straight line, I can do that from, you know, find something from the auto parts store. But as far as bending them and making them look good, I see guys do them. My skill set's not there yet, but you know, maybe one day we'll get there. But hell, if we can keep buying brake lines that fit as nice as those, I'm not going to worry about it, because I think it cost me $80 for that front half. And I priced some brake line at O'Reilly's, and they told me it's $60. So, you know, I was better off spending the extra 20, because I'd have probably had that on the threaded ends and whatnot. So, it's, you know, that's what worked for me anyways. So, but yeah, nonetheless, you know, I'm happy, and like I said, get Maddox over here tomorrow, and hopefully we can get this thing bled out and maybe take it down the street or around the block, man. I thought this was going to come together a little faster than this, but, you know, I'm doing everything on a budget. So, you know, if I could throw a bunch of money at one time, I would, but, you know, I can't. And, you know, we do it as we can. So, but it may take a little longer, but we'll get there. I'm okay with it, you know. Found 2 more hangers. That's real exciting. I really don't understand how anybody can put that many exhaust hangers on one vehicle, but yeah, there's 2 more hangers on the driver's side. I was gonna shoot a little video, make a little skit of it, but I'm like, ah, to hell with it. Get my big ass off this gravel and celebrate my small victory here, you know. So maybe tomorrow. But I think in total that'd be 9 hangers altogether, and 1 set of welds from a hanger that had been cut off. So yeah. Oh well, what can you do, you know? It's what happens when you have a lot of power, you know what I mean? And that's just where this truck is. It's a torque monster, you know. It's been known to twist so hard it just breaks the exhaust right off of it, you know. So but anyways, having fun. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I appreciate y'all, and until next time, have a good one.